Hi, Camila. Good evening.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Cayetano.
Hi, Camila.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Joaquin and Liliana. Good evening.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, teacher.
Everyone.
Hi, Dana. Hi. Sorry. Hi, Dana. Good evening. All right, guys. Sí, ya somos bastantes. So we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, so last week we saw the independent type of speaking task, right? The one that's just a question. Now, I think you guys have already seen the integrated type, which is where they give you material you have to respond to. They give you a text to read, something short, usually it's just an announcement, and a conversation you have to listen to. And you have to respond based on that. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and see that today. Les comparto pantalla. Ahí está. Okay, so for this type of task, you're gonna have a certain time to read the text. It's usually like 1 minute because it's a very short text. And then you listen to the conversation. Igual, los mismos consejos que para cualquier parte de listening, ¿no? Tengan su papelito to take notes of anything and listen to the intonation of the voice, listen to where they put emphasis on the words, and eso al momento de tomar apuntes. Okay? Usually in these that are conversations, one person is going to have a strong opinion. So clarito va a ser, ¿no? Una persona está como que muy marcada su opinión sobre este tema. And the other person is kind of like, solo les está respondiendo, sí, no, sí, tienes razón o no tienes razón. Kind of like contrasting their opinion. So most of the time es clarito, especialmente cuando escuchas la conversación, and how they talk, where they put the emphasis in the words, what the opinion of the speaker is clarito. So presten atención a esas cositas. And eso, before we start, are there any questions? ¿Alguna duda? Cualquier cosa you're not sure of. Igual creo que han debido ver alguno de estos, al menos uno con su teacher ayer. Entonces, si nos topamos con uno que ya han visto, me dicen para que no lo repitamos por. All right. Igual les voy a poner su timer. El anuncio for, in this case, is the university will be making changes to one of its campus dining areas. You'll have 45 seconds to read the university's announcement about the changes. So les dejo sus 45 segundos para leer ese textito. Starting now. All right. Is there anyone that's not done reading yet? Is there anything that's not clear sobre este anuncio? Todo clarito en el texto. All right. For those of you who are just joining us, we're doing the integrated type of speaking task. Así que vamos a leer este textito. Y bueno, vamos a pasar la conversación. Now we're going to listen to the conversation. Like I said, guys, es bien clarito en cómo hablan lo que quieren que recuerdes. So listen to key words, listen to where they put emphasis on words. Yes.
Now, listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Did you hear about the new food court on South Campus?
Yeah, man. It's too bad they're getting rid of the cafeteria.
What? Why? Won't it be good to have a few more options?
I don't know. I don't feel like this really gives us more choices. The cafeteria already had dishes from other countries. They had vegetarian options and customizable sandwiches, too. It's not like the quality of this new food court's ingredients is going to be much better than what we had. I'll bet it's all from the same source, even.
You think? I mean, yeah, if they don't even change their supplier, the offerings probably won't be all that different.
Exactly. Just pricier.
Wait, why is that?
Oh, the cafeteria was all you can eat. You'd get as much food as you wanted for a flat price. But at a food court, you've got to order individual meals. That ends up costing more.
You've always liked to load up a big plate, huh?
You've got that right. If I have to buy 4 meals every day, it's going to be hard on my wallet.
The man expresses his opinion about the change.
All right, before we listen to the question, is there anything that wasn't clear? Todo estaba claro sobre sus opiniones. All right. Ahora sí. So we're going to listen to the question. Then we have 30 seconds to prepare. Hay un poco más de tiempo para preparar. Pero la pregunta casi siempre es solo resumir, no the opinion one of the speakers had. So in this case, it's him. So it's just a summary of the points he mentioned. So eso, 30 segundos para preparar su respuesta. Con eso en mente. And it has to be 1 minute long, 60 seconds. ¿Sí? Que tienen que hablar. So ahora vamos a escuchar la pregunta.
Described in the article. Briefly summarize the change. Then state his opinion about the change and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, so igual, la estructura, ¿no? Briefly summarize the change, dan el contexto, you state his opinion, and you explain the reasons. Sus 30 segundos, start now. All right, guys. Is there anyone who wants to share? Alguien que tenga su respuesta lista.
Me, teacher.
All right, dale, Liliana. Te pongo tus 60 segundos. Okay, so your 60 seconds to speak start now.
Okay, the university wants to remodeling the structure dinner. Meanwhile, the student doesn't agree with this idea because he says that the cafeteria is good now and have a lot of varieties of foods or dinners or coffees too. So maybe in the new street dinner, it hasn't these varieties. In addition, he believes that the price there now is good. In the future could be more expensive for him because he eat 4 meals every day. So he feels that it's a bad for him. And for this, he think it's a bad idea.
All right, thank you, Liliana. How did you feel? Were you nervous? Did you say everything you wanted to? ¿Has sentido que te faltaba tiempo? Or ¿qué tal? How do you feel?
I feel well, but a little nervous.
Mhm.
But I want to practice this, my nerves over.
Is there any points where you were nervous? O sea, al principio, al final, todo.
No, in the first part.
Mhm.
After, okay.
Yeah, I feel the structure was very present. Estaba ahí, the arguments were there. You mentioned all the information that was needed. At the moment, you gave the context, though. At the beginning, I do feel you rushed un poquito, como que la apresuraste, maybe porque sí estabas un poco nerviosa. A la intro la apresuraste. So it's important, siempre te van a pedir el contexto, ¿no? Cuando te dan información, cuando te dan tu conversación, cuando te dan tu texto, tienes que dar el contexto. Okay, the text talks about this. Pero eso hay que hacerlo súper conciso, súper puntual, because the real question is in the rest of it, ¿no? La verdadera pregunta es, ¿qué opina él al respecto? So this little context should be very brief, very concise, pero que aún esté toda la info, ¿no? I kind of feel you rushed it a little bit too much. Estaba ahí la info, pero maybe you could have explained one more detail para que no quede tan apresuradito. But other than that, all the info was there, ¿no? And eso, please watch your verb tenses. No olviden su grammar, sus verb tenses. Si va a ser que no tenían, the past of didn't have, it would be didn't have or doesn't have. Right? The cafeteria doesn't have these options. Da, da, da. So that's nice. Thank you, Liliana. All right, another answer for this one, para este mismo. Who would like to share their answer?
Could be me.
Dana? All right. Dale. Your 60 seconds. Yeah, your 60 seconds start now.
Okay, the university wants to redesign the cafeteria, put more international dishes, vegetable dishes. But he thinks that it won't be good because they already have international dishes, vegetable dishes, and maybe it's the same or not much better that they have. That is the important thing that he thinks. And of course, he says that the price would be terrible for him because it's too expensive. He doesn't want that for his lunch or for his dinner. So he's totally disagree with that, and he thinks that the change won't be a huge change. So that.
All right. Y te faltaban 5 segundos, pero igual nos... espera ahorita que acabe. All right. Thank you, Dana. Very good answer. Overall, very confident. How do you feel? Did you feel nervous at any point?
Yes, I feel a little nervous.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice it at all. No se te notó en ningún momento. Like I was saying, justo la introducción, clara, concisa, everything, all the information was there, why they're implementing this change, what exactly the change is, but super briefly, no decir nada más de lo necesario. And I also like that you kind of rephrased, you were very descriptive with your language. So la información que estaba ahí, los argumentos que él tenía, you kind of used it in your own words, like you put it in your own words. So es igual, no, it shows that you understand and that you're kind of giving your own interpretation of the information. So good, really good answer. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
All right. Y yeah, vamos a hacer dos respuestas por cada uno. So we're going to leave it there for this one. And we're going to go on to the next one. Antes de que veamos el siguiente, are there any questions? Algo que les esté costando in this type of task? All right, so misma lógica. 45 segundos para leer the announcement, and then we listen to the conversation. So again, the university has decided to change its transportation options for students. Read the university's website's announcement, about the decision. You will have 45 seconds to read the announcement, starting, y les pongo sus 45 segundos ahora. Igual cuando quieren que baje, me dice. All right. Any questions? Anything that wasn't clear sobre esta info? Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the conversation.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
So did you hear that the university is cutting its transportation budget and ending all bus service?
I did hear that. But it's no big deal, right? I mean, the university is also compensating all students with $50 vouchers for public transportation. The vouchers can be used on, like, the subway and public buses. So it sounds like there won't be a big problem.
Are you kidding me? This is going to be horribly inconvenient. I mean, like, first of all, there's no public transportation to the DeWolf Science Center. It's far away from any subway and bus station, and getting there will require a 20-minute walk through some of the worst neighborhoods in the city.
I guess that will be a problem for some people. But try to look at it this way. There's too much division in this country between university students and the people who live in the cities around them. Won't this encourage a spirit of togetherness, like when we're all using the same public transportation?
But actually, I think that this policy, that it won't help create much new interaction between students and city dwellers at all.
Why not?
Well, because $50 is not very much money. I mean, it'll probably only cover about a month's worth of subway or bus passes. And, you know, most students won't be able to afford to take public transportation. So with students forced to walk everywhere, I just don't understand where all of this great new interaction is going to be happening.
The female student.
Okay, before we listen to the question, is there any part that wasn't clear? Any information que sienta que les falte? Ok, entonces vamos a escuchar la pregunta.
Action is going to be happening.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Okay, so they're asking about her opinion, el de ella. Same thing, you state her opinion and the reason she has for holding that opinion. Your 30 seconds start now. All right. Who would like to share their answer? Adrian, what about you?
Yes, okay.
All right. So, tus 60 segundos start now.
Okay, the university letter states that they are no longer able to offer complementary transportation by bus to all the students. Instead, they are going to give $50 to every student so they can use the public transportation. Meanwhile, the female in the audio is not convincing at all because due to the fact that there is no public transportation to the science center, so they need to go get a 20-minute walk to the next public transportation part, and the $50 bill is not too much because not all the students are going to be able to afford $50 for all the months to use the public transportation, and they are going to need to walk.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Adrian. How do you feel? Did you get nervous? ¿Alguna cosa que te haya faltado o dijiste todo?
I feel fine, but I felt that I didn't had enough time. Instead, I had like 10 seconds.
No, I think you managed the time pretty well. And I could tell like at the end estabas midiendo un poco el tiempo. Porque me falta, no me falta. But you managed to fit it in perfectly. Things like igual, cosas que listas de cosas que deberían buscar en Google para tenerlas de práctica. Connectors, like I said, adjectives as well. Reporting verbs, that's also a good one. So I think you mentioned the word states, like the text states that, da, 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 da. So reporting verbs as well, para hacer referencia a estas cosas. El profesor dice, el texto dice, states, reports, mentions that, claims that. All those verbs also give you guys a lot of, les da mucho sazón. So, esos verbitos igual vayan buscando, hacen mucho. And it's a good intro as well. No good. You mentioned all the points that were necessary and the amount of time necessary. And overall, good development. So yeah, buena respuesta. Thank you, Adrián.
Thanks.
All right, one more for this one. Who would like to give their answer? Joaquin, maybe?
Teacher?
Yes, ¿lo logras?
Okay, teacher.
All right, so, listo? Your 60 seconds start now.
Okay, the university proposed that propose a change from the transportation options, and it will cost $15. The student thinks that it's a good idea. She thinks that it's not too much money dollars and pay from someone, and it's only 2 minutes it's 20 minutes away from the university.
All right. Anything else?
No, teacher.
All right. A ver, te faltaba igual nomás tiempito, like 10 seconds. So I think there was a little bit of information that you could have added. First of all, what's her position? Does she agree with this new change? Does she like it or does she not like it? I think she disagrees, right? No le gusta que hagan este cambio because she's like, $50 isn't enough for transportation. No, y dice que sí, que no hay ningún transporte que vaya al museo. So she doesn't agree with it, actually. So es ese detallito. And I think, sí, igual falta mencionar un cacho, what exactly were her reasons? Kind of precisar un poco mejor her reasons, because she gives examples as well, right? Like this, esto de que no hay ningún transporte que vaya a este museo que ella quiere ir. So those are kind of why she dislikes this change. So eso, guys. Thank you, Joaquin. All right. So ahora sí vamos a ver la siguiente pregunta. Okay, same thing. We're going to read the announcement and then listen to the conversation. A university has announced a new scholarship opportunity on its website. You'll have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading. Bueno, ahorita les pongo y me dicen cuando quieren que baje el texto igual, para que lo lean. So your 45 seconds start now. All right. Is there anything that wasn't clear? ¿Alguna palabra? ¿Algún something about this text? Everything clear? All right. So vamos a escuchar la conversación.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
I think it's totally unfair that the Buonocore Scholarship is only being offered to students in the Romance Languages department. Like, it's an amazing opportunity, and it's so sad to see it monopolized in this way.
Is it really such a bad thing to limit the scholarship to one department, though? I mean, the fewer students compete for the prize, the easier it'll be for students like us to win it. After all, there are only 7 other students in the whole Romance Languages department besides us.
Well, that doesn't change the fact that it's wrong for the scholarship to be limited to our single department. It's a matter of principle. First of all, there are students in other departments, like history and classics and Renaissance studies, all of whom would definitely benefit from a year in Italy. Why shouldn't they get a chance to submit their work to the committee?
But if they also submitted their essays, it would be harder for us to get the prize.
Look, just because something benefits me personally doesn't make me think that it's right. I mean, I have a lot of friends in history and classics and Renaissance studies, and I totally agree with them that it's wrong for them to be ineligible to compete for the scholarship. After all, Romance Languages is a very small department, and it seems abusive for us to keep this resource all to ourselves.
I guess I see where you're coming from.
Also, I think that it takes something away from the honor of winning the scholarship if the competition isn't very strong. I'd rather know that I earned the opportunity to study in Rome by competing against the very best students, instead of thinking that I was only honored because other talented people were unnecessarily excluded from the process.
All right. Any questions about the conversation, the information she gives? All right, so the question, no estaba en el audio, lo vamos a leer. But it's the same thing as always. The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion. Same thing as always. So les doy sus 30 segunditos to prepare, starting now. Okay, who would like to share? Someone who hasn't answered yet. Dana, dale. All right. Te pongo un minuto. Ready?
Yes, ready.
All right, your 1 minute to speak starts now.
Okay. The university wants to create a tuition free for 2 semesters in Rome. Is totally disagree with this. Yeah, because she made for it to be disagree with this and with this thing that the university wants. For example, she said that this would be totally unfair because just would be for students of Romance language, and that will be limited for the people who is in classes of story or classic classes. And another thing that she mentioned is that the Roman language is a very small department. So it means that the competition would be the same and won't be strong. So practically, she said that the department of the Romance language is a little group, and it's totally unfair for the other people who study in class of story and classics. So that.
All right. Thank you, Dana. How did you feel with your answer?
So
More or
sorry,
less?
I feel nervous, yes, and at the end, I didn't know what more I can say, so I started to repeat that thing.
Yeah, I could tell at the end you kind of had trouble closing off the idea. Pero eso, igual es cosa de práctica, like try to calculate how much is a minute so you can go closing off your idea cuando ya se te está acabando el tiempo. Because everything else was there, argumented, present, and as always, delivered with confidence. So eso igual le da mucho. En cuanto a grammar corrections, this little habit we all have, right? In Spanish we say estar de acuerdo. So when we say it in English, we say is agree, or like be agree con el verbo to be, y es directamente, ¿no? She agrees, he agrees with da, da, da. Eso. Así que el agree siempre tengan cuidado con eso, guys. Porque yeah, it's a super common mistake everyone makes, ese is agree. Y luego, at the time of mentioning the name of the career, it's the Romance languages department, right? So es igual que hay que pronunciar bien para cuando es nombre propio o algo importante que mencionan en el texto, pronounce it really well and clearly. So the Romance language department. Y eso, overall, like when you listen to, like I said, van a esclarito cuando les dan palabras claves o conceptos importantes por cómo suena su voz. So using those as well in your answer, like mentioning certain words that she may have used to express her opinion, ¿no? En la conversación, usar esas palabritas clave igual les facilita la vida al armar su respuesta. So thank you, Dana. Good answer. One more for this one. Cayetano, would you like to share your answer?
Yeah, sure.
That. Okay, so your 1 minute starts now.
The university made an announcement to offer study in Rome for the people that are studying Roman class. But meanwhile, the student doesn't advocate this idea because she said to him that the university can limit these opportunities only for one group, because the universities, they have groups for history and other topics that they could travel for this. Also, the competition isn't hard because they are less people in the group, so it isn't the same.
All right. Thank you, Cayetano. How do you feel with your answer?
I don't know. I forgot a lot ideas there.
At the middle, right? Your
yeah.
se te han ido. But I feel they were there. Like I saw you looking down, so I was like, they must be written on paper. You're just kind of having trouble structuring them. So, ¿qué tal? ¿Cuál ha sido el proceso mental during that part?
Maybe I need to improve my ideas here in my paper because I wrote some general ideas, but I don't organize it correctly. Maybe was my error now.
Yeah, also like there was a time entre actually asking the question y que te llamé, ¿no? Entonces ahí se pierde un poco la idea. Cuando está fresca, like at the moment you write it down and they ask you that second, you can also, es más fácil acordarse de qué tomaste en tus apuntes. But yeah, apart from that little piece in the middle, donde un poco siento que se te han ido tus ideas, they were there, ¿no? Just por el manejo de tiempo, that little part at the end, que no ha entrado toda la idea que querías. But the rest, it was there. En cuanto a connectors, guys, ya saben que igual los conectores les ayudan un montón. But if you're not fully sure, because I've heard a lot of you guys use meanwhile, right? Meanwhile, the student's opinion was cuando podría ser algo que caiga un poco mejor, ¿no? A little more precise, something that says que es una opinión contrastante a este cambio, ¿no? So, I don't know. Despite the benefit for her, porque le beneficia al estudiante, she doesn't agree with this because da, 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 da. And when in doubt, si no están seguros sobre qué conector realmente entra, si con seguridad este es el que expresa mejor la idea que quiero, it's better to use the simple ones, no? But she doesn't agree with this because so just but, which is super simple, pero it's better if you're not 100% sure of another more complex connector que podría entrar ahí. Mejor solo con un simple y sencillo but. So, eso, guys. So thank you, Cayetano, for your answer. Y a ver, what do you think, guys? Do we have time for one more o lo dejamos ahí? Let's do one more, unito más, and we'll leave it there. All right, same thing. Leen el anuncio, escuchamos la conversación y respondemos. So the university is hosting a talk by a guest speaker. Read the school's announcement about the opportunity. You'll have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Igual les voy bajando cuando necesiten. Your 45 seconds start now. All right. Any questions? Anything that wasn't clear? Yeah. So we're moving on with the conversation.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Can you believe that the Secretary of State's speech is being limited to students in the political science and government departments? It's really unfair that they get guaranteed access.
Wait, really? I mean, don't you agree that the Secretary of State's speech is especially important to students in government and political science?
But what about students in history or cultural studies? It's wrong to assume that just because someone studies government, the speech would automatically be more important for them.
I guess so, but can't you still apply to get a seat? So if it is important to you, you can just show them that it is.
With the essay, that's not exactly ideal. The people who judge the essays will be professors from government and political science. They have their own ideas about what good and bad reasons are. They'll be too prejudiced.
You think?
Oh, totally. I mean, how would they be able to judge an essay by someone like a poet or a computer scientist or a sculptor? They'll probably just dismiss those essays completely.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
All right, same thing. State her opinion and the reasons for her having that opinion. So your 30 seconds to prepare start now. All right. Who would like to share their answer? Camila, creo que no, I don't think I've heard you give your answer yet.
Yes, sir.
Dale.
Let me try.
Right, espérate como un minuto. Ready?
Yes.
All right, so your 60 seconds to speak start now.
Okay, the university announcement states that there are seats available to hear Secretary of the State for a 1 hour speech, but it is only available to political science and government departments. And meanwhile, the student doesn't advocate this idea because she thinks that it is unfair because it is only available for these two departments. And on the other hand, she thinks that the professors that
All right, continue with your idea. ¿Qué quieres decir?
That the professors that evaluate these applications are only of these two departments too, and she thinks that the computer scientists will be and should be. Sorry.
All right, don't worry. How did you feel throughout?
Very nervous.
Nervous?
Yes.
Yeah, I think mostly towards the end, though. At the beginning, you started off fairly strong, and then mientras ibas avanzando. You did mention all the information that was there, all her points, all her reasons. But how do you think you could have fitted them better en el tiempo? ¿No? Porque te sobró una colita de tiempo ahí.
Yeah.
How could you have fitted them better? I think it was in the introduction. No, como les digo, siempre tienen que dar el contexto cuando tienen información de base, ¿no? Tienen su textito, su conversación. So you have to give the context, but try to make it as concise as possible. So at the beginning, when you were explaining the situation, I think the university is having a talk with the Senator of State, and they're opening invitations to the political science departments, but not to other areas. The student disagrees with this because listo. ¿No? En 15 segundos más o menos debería ser cuánto se dé the context of the beginning. So es calcular un cacho eso. It's just practice, guys. Like the time, especially, esta parte del tiempo, there's really no other way around it other than practice. Like there's no other trick. There's no no hay una maña. It's just a matter of practice. So don't worry about that part, guys. It's just a matter of you guys practicing on your own. Pero sí. And again, don't be nervous. No, it's better to stay calm. And if you're really, really, really nervous during the actual test, it's also better to take 1 second to say, oh, excuse me, I'm a little nervous. Y luego seguir con su respuesta. Cuando les fallen mucho los nervios. Okay, so one more for this answer, and we're going to leave it there. Who would like to share their answer?
I can.
Dale. Thank you, Adrian. All right, so te pregunto un minuto. And your 60 seconds start now.
Okay, the university states that the Secretary of the State is going to give a 1-hour talk for the science and for the students of the science and government departments. Additionally, applicants will need a 1,000 word essay explaining why attendance is important. On the other hand, the girl thinks that this is unfair due to the fact that there are other departments that would like to attend to this talk. In addition, she also says it's a bad decision by the university that the 1,000 word essay is going to be checked by professors from government and science departments that are not going to understand the point of view of other departments.
All right, wonderful. Y tesoro no solo 5 segundos. Yeah. So good. Thank you, Adrian. Also, very complete answer. All the information was there in the necessary time. And yeah, igual, I think it's a really good answer. I could tell you used connectors. As always, the connectors les dan mucho sazón a la respuesta. So using the right connectors really gives an answer more solidez. En cuanto a picking up little keywords, like I said, you guys siempre tienen que escuchar palabras clave. When she mentions esta parte de que van a juzgar mal, ¿no? Los ensayos porque son unos estirados de política, qué sé yo. She mentions the word prejudiced. So if you guys want, you can use these little keywords in your answer as well, porque demuestran, ¿no? Como que sí he tomado total atención de esta conversación. So using those words helps you to build your answer. Or you can also rephrase it in your own words, no? Like Adrián did, you mentioned the exact same idea, that these people weren't exactly qualified to judge different types of essays without using the word prejudice that they mentioned, ¿no? So los dos funcionan siempre que cuando estén con la seguridad de que how you're rephrasing it expresses the same idea. So, eso. Thank you, Adrián. Good answer.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. So we're going to leave it there for today. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Algo que les haya parecido difícil. Or maybe some advice you want to give to your classmates. Algún life hack que hayan logrado. All right. If there are no questions, we're going to leave it there, you guys. All right. Y bueno, ya saben, les mando la encuestita, la contestan y ya pueden irse saliendo de la reunión. So it was nice seeing you guys today, and I'll see you guys on Friday.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, bye everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you. Take care.
Bye, Dre.
Bye.